Hey guys, Crypto Dad here again, and today I'm going to show you how to purchase and store Kaspa tokens. So let's get started. Alright, so I'm here on the Kaspa website. This is a great resource for finding out more about Kaspa, what it is, how it works, how to get your hands on it. Another great resource is CoinGecko. You go over to CoinGecko and search for Kaspa or KAS. You can look at the current price and the charts, and they have this real handy tool down here, markets, that show you where you can get your hands on it. Now, there aren't very many cryptocurrency exchanges where you can buy it. You can't buy it on Coinbase or Binance US. Haven't tried Kraken yet. No, you can't buy it on Kraken either, but you can buy it on Uphold. They also have this thing called Topper, which is sort of through Uphold. Yeah, Topper is a company that's brought to you by Uphold. So I figured I would check out Uphold itself and see if you can get it on Uphold. And it looks like you can. So basically, if you want to buy something on Uphold, you click destination and you tell it, this is what I want to buy, right? And if it's available, then you would choose cryptocurrency. This means there will be an Uphold account created for Kaspa, right? It'll end up in your account when you're done. And for source, you could use another cryptocurrency that you may already have in Uphold, or you can choose a payment method. I'll go ahead and use my checking. I have my checking connected to my Uphold account. Notice that you've got Bitcoin, XRP, or Ethereum. If you had any of those tokens in your account, you should be able to swap for those as well. All right, you see I've got a few available swaps up here. I'll choose checking, and I'll go ahead and buy $100 worth. And I'll do a preview of that. There's a 99-cent fee. It's not too bad. I'll go ahead and make this purchase. So I'll choose confirm deposit because it's going to go into my account on Uphold. We'll hit confirm deposit. So you can see here that I now have some cash in my account. Now, Uphold usually has a cooling off period. I think it depends on your account as to how long it has to stay in the account before they will allow you to withdraw it. But I'm going to give it a shot and see if I can put it in my own wallet. Now, you have to be careful. There are Kas wallets. If you went over to your Ledger Live and you wanted to add Kas, notice that they only have it as an Ethereum token, or the ERC20 version of Kaspa. That's fine if that's the version of Kaspa that you own, but I would rather store my Kaspa in a native wallet, and it would be nice if I could use my Ledger or Trezor, but I'll settle for a native Kaspa wallet. So if you go to the Kaspa site and you go over here to resources, they do have some Kaspa wallets available, some for mobile and phone, and some for desktop, or even a command line wallet for those of you who are a little more advanced. I'm going to try this desktop wallet since I'm on my computer now, and that takes us over to the KDX site. And then you can choose your platform, whether it's Windows, Apple, or Linux. And I'll choose download for Windows. I'll go ahead and drop that in my downloads folder. Now you can also verify this download if you want to check the SHA. The SHA is a way to check the integrity of your downloaded file. I'll go ahead and save this. Let's see what this is. I'll try opening it as a text file. I'm assuming that it just has a SHA sum in there. Okay. So we'll copy that into our clipboard. Now we want to check the SHA of the file, the installer that we downloaded. So I have a SHA sum checker. that'll check multiple SHAs for me. I'll just browse over to that file that I downloaded, the installer. We'll open it up. Okay, there it goes. It looks like the SHA-1, right? Well, we can paste in that SHA that we downloaded from the developers and click verify, and it says it's a match for that SHA-1, right? So we've just verified the integrity of our installer file. Pretty simple. Now we can just go ahead and run the install. We'll want to go to more info and choose run anyway. This is pretty common with files that are not quote unquote Microsoft certified developers. And I'll run this installer. And there we go. All right, and I'll go ahead and launch the wallet now. Okay, they're going to create, they're going to give me a default data folder where they're going to store the data for this, all their blockchain data. I'll just run the defaults here, Kaspa node and mainnet. And I'm not using a laptop. This is a desktop. It's plugged in. So we'll go ahead and proceed here. And there we go. Here's our documentation of the versions. It's connecting to the Kaspa network. So I might need to give it some time, let it initialize, and start to download the Kaspa blockchain. Okay. There's our settings. Yeah, I don't see a way to connect a hardware device. So it looks like my only choice here is using this as a desktop-based wallet. In other words, a hot wallet. Because in a hot wallet, the private key is exposed to the internet, right? The private key is stored on my computer, and my computer is exposed to the internet. That doesn't mean that it's insecure necessarily. If I have a computer that's free of viruses and malware, I should be fine. The private key is probably stored in an encrypted format somewhere on the hard drive. So it's not a deal breaker. I prefer to use hardware wallets when possible, but I don't see a choice here with Kaspa. All right, looks like it's syncing up. Notice it's connecting to others. It's a decentralized wallet. Well, let's go ahead and create a wallet. They're going to ask for a password. Hit next here, and then they're going to give us a seed phrase. We should write this seed phrase down on a piece of paper. Once you have those words written down, you'll click next here, and then they're just going to ask you to refer to the sheet that with your words on there to choose the 10th word. So I'll look on my sheet, I'll look at word number 10, and I'll choose it here. And then they're asking me for the 6th word. I'll check my list, choose that, and then I go back to the 11th, go to the 11th word, choose that one from the list, and I'm done, right? They only asked me to verify 3 words on the list, which is pretty nice. And so now I have a Kaspa address. I'll copy that into my clipboard. Let's go back over to Uphold and see if we can't withdraw our Kaspa. So in this case, our source will be our Kaspa account. Our destination, if we search for Kas again, will be the Kaspa network. Right, and in today's case, I want a fairly small amount. Let's choose in terms of Kas. Should be 100 Kas out of my 700. It's a fairly small amount. We could even do 50, just so if something goes wrong, we're not going to lose that much. We'll preview the withdrawal, and here is where it's asking us for the address. They show us the address format. It looks very similar to what I see over here as far as the format goes. So I'll go back here, I'll paste that in. And we can scroll up to the front. See, I've got the correct format there. We'll confirm. It appears to like that. So I'm transferring 50 Kas. That's not that much. If we go back here, 50 Kas is only $6, $7. So I'm only risking $7 on this test transaction. So I'll go ahead and confirm that withdrawal. I'm moving my funds to a non-custodial account. All right, they're going to give me a few warnings here. And then they want my two-factor for my Uphold account. And there we go. We'll hit continue. All righty. Transaction is processing. That's a good sign. Say OK. Off it goes. You can see I have less here. Let's check the wallet. See if anything comes in. It might be a bit. I don't know how long it takes to totally do a sync. So I might need to wait for this wallet to sync completely before I actually see that incoming balance. But I'm going to wait. Make sure I see that coming into the wallet before I transfer any more over. Right? We always want to do small test transactions to make sure that we're properly storing our crypto. It's getting from our source to our destination properly, right? We don't want to transfer huge amounts of crypto worth hundreds or thousands of dollars without doing a small test transaction. Now, another way that you can store Kaspa is in the Tangem wallet. Tangem wallet is hardware based. The Tangem card holds the key offline, separate from your phone. So if we go into the Tangem wallet, you can see that they support Kaspa. Now, if you don't have Kaspa enabled yet, I'll use this wallet as an example. We'll just go to Manage Tokens and search for Kas. And there it is. We'll pull this down, and then we'll just enable Kas on the main Kaspa blockchain. We'll save our changes. And we're going to need to use our phone with the card. We'll just hold the card up to the back of our phone and authorize that. And we've added a new token there, Kaspa. Now, in order to receive Kaspa, we could use the phone-based Uphold app. Well, I can't really show you on my phone because the Uphold app will not allow me to share screen. There are a few apps that can sense when the screen is being shared, so I can't demo my phone app for you guys. So we'll just use the desktop. In order to get the address into Uphold, I'm going to need to go over to my Tangem wallet. All right, so we'll start in the Tangem wallet. We'll go to Kaspa and we'll choose receive. There's that Kaspa address. Now, if I was using the phone-based version of Uphold, I could just go copy this into my clipboard and go over to the phone-based app. But in today's case, I'll go ahead and share the address with myself. That way I will have access to the address from my desktop. I can go over to my email, get that address, copy it into my clipboard. Let's go back over here. And so we'll basically do the same thing we did last time. We'll select our destination, and that would be the Kaspa network. And then our source will be our Kaspa account where we have our holdings. And I'll go ahead and send another 50 Kaspa as a test. And we'll go to the next screen here where we're expected to paste in that address. Now from here, I can just check my phone to double check that nothing weird happened during the transition. All right, I can look at the address there and confirm that it is the same address that is in my wallet. And then we'll go ahead and confirm that outgoing transaction, moving funds to my non-custodial wallet. And I'll go past this. And then I need my two-factor. All right, we'll continue and off it goes. And now we have our outgoing transaction. Oh, over here on the left, we can scroll down a little to look at our outgoing transactions. You can see those two transactions as they're heading out. And then we'll just go over to our wallet. We can keep an eye on our wallet and wait for the Kaspa to come into the wallet. The Kaspa has arrived in my Tangem wallet, so now I have confirmed that the transaction is going to work properly. So now I can just go ahead and withdraw the rest. So the Kaspa address will always stay the same in this particular wallet, so I can safely reuse this address. So in this case, we'll just go ahead and send the rest of it out. We'll select source, Kaspa. Our destination will be the Cas network. I'll go ahead and send the rest of it. I think I can just do a max here. And then we'll do preview withdraw. And here's where they want that address. Paste in the address, same address I used last time. We'll go ahead and confirm that. We'll just get our two-factor. All right, so they're not going to let me withdraw it all. The only reason they let me withdraw some of it was because I had some crypto in my account already that had been there past the 5 days. So that was basically my collateral. So when you're using Uphold and you make a purchase, there is a 5-day cooling off period you normally have to wait. All right, so that's it. If you have any questions about anything I did, please throw them up in the comments and I'll do my best to get them answered. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon.